At my graduation party, my aunt stormed in, pointed at my diploma, and screamed, "You only got that because your mommy and daddy paid someone off." I tried to explain that I had earned it, but she cut me off, laughing, "Oh, please, you're not that smart. Everyone knows it." I watched in horror as she tore the diploma in half and threw it in my face while my cousins cheered her on. Let me tell you what really happened the day I graduated college. This isn't one of those stories where everything wraps up clean and happy. What happened to me still messes with my head. But I got my revenge, and I got it slow. So, I went to college in Austin, Texas. Not some fancy Ivy League school, but a solid state university. I majored in accounting. Yeah, it's not glamorous, but I was good at it. I worked part-time at HEB, took community college courses to save money the first year, and studied harder than I ever had in my life. My parents helped where they could, but we didn't have much. My dad's a retired mechanic, and my mom does daycare out of her house. No trust funds. No bribes. Just sweat and hours. When I finally graduated with honors, I was proud. I invited friends, some family, neighbors, even my professor, who lived nearby. We had a barbecue in the backyard. My dad smoked brisket for 12 hours, and my mom made all the sides. The diploma was framed and set up right next to the cake table. It was one of the only things I ever truly felt I earned completely on my own. Then, Aunt Cheryl showed up. She wasn't invited. She hadn't spoken to my family in over a year, except when she showed up drunk at Thanksgiving and called my mom a moocher. My mom cried after that. We didn't invite her to Christmas, and we figured she wouldn't care about my graduation. But there she was, wearing those ugly oversized sunglasses, a loud leopard print top, gold heels that sunk into our backyard grass with every step. Her kids, Brittany and Josh, walked in behind her, smirking like they knew something we didn't. Everyone got quiet. Even the music cut off for a second, like the damn stereo could sense something was about to happen. Cheryl didn't say hi. Didn't congratulate me. She walked right past my dad like he wasn't even there, pointed at the diploma frame, and shouted, loud enough for the whole block to hear, "You only got that because your mommy and daddy paid someone off." Laughter broke out. Not from the guests, just from her and her two brats. Brittany, who barely got through high school, and Josh, who'd been fired from 3 fast food jobs in the last 6 months. They were loving this. I was stunned. Everyone looked at me. I could feel my face turning red. "I worked for that," I said, trying to stay calm. "I earned it. No one paid anyone off." "Oh, please," she laughed. "You're not that smart. Everyone knows it." Then she walked over like she was strolling into a grocery store aisle, picked up the diploma frame, yanked out the certificate, and with both hands, ripped it right in half. She threw it in my face like it was trash. Gasps. Actual gasps from people. My mom covered her mouth. My dad stood frozen, jaw clenched, fists balled. My best friend John took a step forward, but I shook my head. "Not here. Not now." Josh clapped. Brittany filmed it on her phone. Cheryl just turned around, flicked her hair back, and muttered, "You're a fraud," as she walked over to grab a soda. No one said anything. Not one person told her to leave. Not even my grandparents, who just stared into their laps. I didn't sleep that night. I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. Not because my diploma was ruined. I could order a new one. It was what she did to me. In front of everyone. She wanted to humiliate me. She enjoyed it. And her kids were in on it too. They had planned this. So, I made a decision. I wasn't going to scream. I wasn't going to throw hands. I was going to ruin their lives. Piece by piece. Quietly. And I did the day after the party. I started digging. I knew Aunt Cheryl had a job as a manager at a local property rental office. It wasn't a big deal job, but she bragged about it all the time like she was some top executive. I started by checking reviews of the place online. A few renters complained about sketchy late fees, maintenance issues that were never fixed, and unprofessional behavior from management. It wasn't much, but it was a crack. I created a fake email account under the name Jared L. and started posing as a renter who was looking to move into one of the apartments. I exchanged emails with Cheryl directly. She didn't recognize me. Probably because she rarely paid attention to anything beyond herself. After a few emails, I told her I was looking for a place, but didn't want to run a background check. I hinted I was willing to pay extra to make that happen. She took the bait. Cheryl responded within the hour, saying she might be able to make an exception and to come by the office and bring cash. Bingo. I recorded everything. The emails. The call we had after. The moment she offered to approve a lease without any background check in exchange for $500 under the table. I also had screenshots of her name signed on company emails and the phone number listed publicly as part of the office. I sent everything anonymously to the property management company's regional office and HR department. They fired her 2 weeks later. I didn't stop there. Brittany had an Instagram where she posted daily, bragging about being a makeup artist, tagging expensive makeup brands, pretending to be some influencer. I knew for a fact she wasn't working. She just posted selfies and asked for donations for her startup that didn't exist. She once scammed our mutual cousin for $300 by promising to do wedding makeup and then ghosted her. So I made a burner TikTok and exposed her. I used her public photos, her lies, and the voice message she once sent to another cousin saying, "They're stupid enough to believe I'll show up. That's rent money, babe." I edited it all into a short video, tagged brands she claimed to work with, sent it directly to them, too. 2 companies actually responded. One of them posted publicly that they have no affiliation with Brittany and do not support false advertising. She lost hundreds of followers overnight. Comments filled with scammer, fraud, and worse. Then there was Josh. Josh was the easiest. He sold weed illegally. Not a huge deal, but he was sloppy. Posted snaps of bags on his story with dumb captions like, "Hit me up," and his actual phone number in his bio. I didn't even have to fake anything. I just screenshotted, saved the images, and sent them to Crime Stoppers anonymously. Nothing happened at first, but a month later he got pulled over and they found edibles and a grinder in his car. Charged with misdemeanor possession and got probation. Word got around their neighborhood. Cheryl wasn't just unemployed now. She was known as the woman who got bribed out of a job. Brittany's business dried up. Josh started working nights at a gas station. My family never said a word about it. Neither did I. But Cheryl knew. One night in early September, my dad came home and said Cheryl had stopped him outside the grocery store. Said she accused me of ruining her life and that she knew it was me. My dad just told her, "You should have thought about that before tearing up your niece's diploma." That should have been enough. But it wasn't. I thought I'd be satisfied once Cheryl lost her job, once Brittany's name was dirt online, and once Josh got caught. I thought I'd sleep better. But the rage didn't go away. What she did wasn't just mean. It was personal. It was a calculated attack meant to humiliate me in front of the people I cared about. And it worked. I still had nightmares where I saw her tearing the diploma in half. Still felt that flash of shame. I couldn't stop. Not yet. A few weeks later, something strange happened. I got a message on LinkedIn. It was from a guy named Lucas Meyer. Said he was Cheryl's ex-husband, Josh and Brittany's dad. I'd met him once when I was a kid, before he disappeared from the picture. He asked if I had time to talk. I was suspicious, but curious. I gave him a burner email, and we set up a Zoom call. Lucas looked tired. He had bags under his eyes and graying hair, but he seemed sharp. "I know Cheryl's been causing problems," he said. Asked why he cared. "I've been trying to get full custody of Josh for years," he said. "He's 18 now, but I still have a younger daughter with Cheryl, Macy. She's 12. Cheryl's been keeping her from me." I didn't even know Cheryl had another kid. He told me stories. How Cheryl used to leave the kids alone overnight to go party. How she would scream and throw things when things didn't go her way. How she manipulated friends into giving her money. He even said she tried to convince Josh to claim his dad had abused him, just to win a court case. It made me sick. But it also gave me an idea. I asked Lucas if he had any proof of her behavior. He nodded. Said he had old emails, texts, even a voicemail of Cheryl threatening to ruin him if he didn't send her more money. He had kept everything for court. But so far, nothing had worked. Judges kept siding with her. I told him I could help. He sent me copies of everything. I spent a whole weekend organizing the files, compiling timelines, stitching it all into a clean, clear package. I included public reviews of Cheryl's old job where renters called her unprofessional, added screenshots from social media showing her bragging about tricking the system, and even photos Brittany posted where Macy was left home alone. Then I sent it anonymously to Child Protective Services. A month later, Macy was placed in Lucas's custody. Cheryl lost custody. When that news got out, Cheryl lost it. She showed up at her house again, this time banging on the door screaming my name. My dad didn't open the door. He just stood behind it with his phone recording. "You ruined my life," she screamed. "I'll get you back, you little bitch." We posted the video online. It went viral in a local Facebook group. People started sharing their own stories about Cheryl. Old tenants, former coworkers, even a teacher who said Brittany once tried to sell makeup to students. She became a local pariah. Couldn't walk into a store without someone whispering. But the worst part for her? Josh moved out too. After everything that happened, after being charged and put on probation, he finally snapped. He posted on Facebook, "Mom always told us to destroy anyone who made us look bad. Now I see she was the problem." He left town 2 weeks later. Now Cheryl was alone.
No job.
No kids. No friends. Just a reputation that followed her like a stink she couldn't wash off. And I wasn't done. I was obsessed by then. I couldn't let it go. The revenge had gone beyond Cheryl. It was something inside me now, something dark that kept pushing. My friends stopped bringing her up. My mom tried to pretend the party never happened. But I couldn't forget. It wasn't just about the diploma anymore. It was about all the years Cheryl had made me feel like I was less. All the times she'd laughed when I struggled. All the side comments she made at holidays. The way she raised her kids to think they were better. And the way no one had ever stopped her. So when I found out she was trying to get a new job at a real estate office this time, I saw red. She had updated her LinkedIn with fake references, pretending she'd left her last job on good terms, even listing Property Manager of the Year. I created another burner and emailed the hiring office pretending to be a former coworker. I shared everything.
The bribe.
The firing. The CPS case. The viral video of her screaming at her house.
She didn't get the job. She didn't get any job.
Word spread. She tried to sue for defamation but dropped it after a lawyer told her she had no case. Everything I posted was backed by evidence. Everything I shared was the truth. And that's when things turned. My mom found out. She went through my laptop one night when I left it open at their house. She saw the burner accounts, the files, the email drafts. She waited until I came home the next day, then sat me down at the kitchen table. "You need to stop," she said. "This isn't justice anymore. This is obsession." "I'm not going to apologize," I told her. "I'm not asking you to," she said. "But if you don't stop, you're going to lose yourself." I laughed. She deserved all of it. She did, my mom said. But I raised you better than this. That hit me harder than I expected. Later that week, I got a text from my friend John, the one who almost stepped in at the party. He said he heard Cheryl was living out of her car now. That her name came up on a community board for people in need of housing. I didn't feel anything.
No satisfaction. No joy.
Just empty. I walked outside, sat on the curb, and stared at the street. Everything had gone how I planned. Everyone who laughed at me that day got what they deserved. But I wasn't proud. I had become exactly what Cheryl always said I wasn't. Cold, calculating, cruel. Except she was wrong about one thing. I was smart. Smart enough to destroy her life without touching her once. But in the process, I ruined a part of myself too. I ordered a new diploma, hung it on the wall quietly. No party. No photos. Just me and that piece of paper. And the knowledge that no one will ever take it from me again. Not even if I had to burn everything down to protect it.